New mic, new podcast.
Not new podcast.
So, fourth episode.
I know.
New episode.
New episode.
Second glass of wine for Jen.
Yep.
We're doing Josh wine today. Josh Cellars.
Why?
Because for the vacation we're talking about today, it's what my father and I drank the entire time while we were there. We did wine, real man stuff.
Okay.
Just two dudes drinking Josh Cabernet every night.
Oh, gosh. So rugged.
We were hardcore.
Yeah.
We're in Alaska. That's where men are.
Okay.
Yeah, mountain men.
I was not invited to this trip.
No,
but I'm invited to the podcast. Thanks.
If you can just play the part of my father, here's what you got to do. Just put me down every few seconds and it'll be fine.
I'll just be angry.
Yeah,
a lot.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're doing a fine job with the wine.
Yeah.
That's what he did too. So
Yes.
it's kind of like that. So Josh Cellars is actually one of our favorite wines that we drink often.
It is.
Not even during a podcast, just sometimes on a Tuesday night.
Or one Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's a nice steady Eddie red for us.
Exactly. Or a Thursday morning with some scrambled eggs.
Okay, that's
Whatever
ridiculous.
It takes. This time around, it is Sitka, Alaska, where we're talking about. Sitka, Alaska, we only knew it for one thing.
The proposal.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds, Sandra Bullock.
The best.
You cannot go wrong.
Did they hook up in the movie? That's the question.
In real life, you mean?
Yeah.
I would like.
I think so.
I think so.
I think they did.
They're both so good looking.
Oh my gosh. They're like naked in those scenes. They're both hot.
They are both hot.
Yeah.
I love that
exactly.
movie. We should watch that tonight.
All right. After we do this little chump show, we'll go ahead and watch something that's good. So Sitka, Alaska, I didn't know a lot going there outside of that's where the proposal was based. Again, manly man
Yes.
who I am. But it's one of the like warmer spots in Alaska. Like it's really warm there. It's a rainforest. They call it a temperate rainforest.
Really?
So you think Alaska and you think like the glaciers and the
Snow.
bears and the snow. No, they don't. We get more snow. So we record this in Utah. We get more snow at our house than they do in Sitka, Alaska.
Interesting. Is it wet though there?
Yeah.
It looked kind of damp.
Kind of like Seattle.
Okay, that makes
same
sense.
idea. Portland, that
Yeah.
style. It's small too. Like 9,000 people live in Sitka. It's not a big town.
Oh.
I think it's a poor town.
I think
too.
it's also ran by the Paxtons.
No, that's part of the proposal.
Oh, dang
That's
it.
not an actual part of it. It's not a true story. It also turns out I learned a very valuable lesson, and I want this for anyone who doesn't finish the podcast. I want you at least to know this part of it. If you call the Alaska the final frontier instead of the last frontier, they will mock you constantly.
Oh my gosh. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The final frontier is Star Trek. The last frontier is Alaska. And those Alaska men, they're hardy.
Yes, I'm sure.
They don't take kindly to you referencing the proposal in the final frontier and then getting Josh wine. I was not made for Alaska.
No, but it looked beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
I've never been interested in going to Alaska.
Yeah.
But after seeing all your photos, I kind of want to go. I don't know if I want to go on this trip
No.
in
I
particular.
don't want to go on this trip.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
But it looked beautiful. I think I want to go there.
It's gorgeous. It's like really when they talk about like untouched, like that's what it is. Like, and there's sometimes, and we'll talk about being on the boat, but you'll look out and you'll see these glaciers in the distance, and you're going, "Wow, I only have seen these like on Nat Geo."
Yeah.
And this is real life. Like, so that was really cool. There are a lot of bugs in Sitka. I don't know about all of Alaska, but I will tell you there, mosquitoes get bad. So I would actually take the bug spray and spray my bed, like the perimeter,
Ooh.
every night, which I'm not sure if that's good to huff bug spray while you sleep.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were just, and we were in like a cabin. We weren't like sleeping in a tent.
Right.
But still, I mean, the bugs would just find their way in, and we all were dealing with mosquito bites by
Maybe
the
you
end.
should have gotten like a little mosquito net to sleep.
I think I would have been mocked more
Oh,
by the
that
group
makes
of guys
sense.
I was with.
Yeah,
if
that
I put
makes
a
sense.
mosquito net up.
What about bears? I hear there's a lot of bears there.
I heard that.
Wasn't it like however many bears per
It's like
people?
one bear per square mile in Alaska.
That's
It's
crazy.
some weird.
Did you see a bear though? You never saw a bear.
We only saw him from the boat. You could see him in the.
Oh, you did
Yeah,
see
but
them.
we never saw one up close.
Okay, but you did see them.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
we did
cool.
one day like where we kind of went for a hike, and which was crazy because you could see the salmon like swimming upstream.
Mm-hmm.
What a sad life!
A salmon?
Like you watch them. I'm watching them die, literally die swimming upstream.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Let's not come back as salmon.
No, right? Exactly. I do recommend bringing lightweight clothes. That way you can take on and off if you're going to Sitka. Especially if I did a fishing trip. That's what we did. And it was nice. Just I never was too cold or too warm. No, I was cold.
You're always cold. You're always cold. We also bought you a really nerdy fishing hat. Was that necessary or not necessary?
I wish I would have just worn like a ball cap. You told me.
No, your dad told you.
Oh, my dad told me. That's right. He's like, oh, no, you need to get this fishing cap. So I went and got it. And I look like such a poser.
You looked nerdy. It was a nerd. Okay, so you don't do that.
Unless it's your style and your jam.
Yes. Unless you're a legit fisherman.
Then that's fine.
Yes.
But for myself, when I haven't fished since I was 9 years old, to put on this. Also, it was like a cheap one. We went cheap with it.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to spend a ton of money.
No, I know, but like it didn't look right on me, and it looked like the guy you invite to go somewhere, and then you realize when they show up that they've never done it before because like the tags are still on it. Oh, that was me.
Yes.
And I'm with like a bunch of hunters the whole time. I wore light pants, if I remember. I didn't wear jeans.
No jeans.
Yeah, and then we also brought mechanics gloves. It's a brand.
Okay.
Mechanics with an X at the end for fishing on the boat because the metal would get really, really cold on the boat.
Oh.
And so you needed something. And again, I get cold easy. So I actually, they sold them at the charter, but I had these rubber, like almost like electric, like if I worked for like the utility company, I assume these are the gloves they had me use. Like if I was up there.
Got it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
I know what you want to do. She needed a sip of wine. Have I bored you already?
Let's keep
We're
going.
6 minutes into this thing. We did this. So this was my father's 60th birthday. We went to Sitka, Alaska, and we paid for this charter. Mm-hmm. It's called Kingfisher Charters and Lodge, and they do it right. I will say, like, it's legit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different charters out there, and I was doing research, kind of reminding myself about before talking it, and some are definitely not as nice as this.
I think I know someone else that did this same charter.
Oh, really?
That also agrees that it's top notch.
Yeah, everything about it. So you fly in, and I don't know if there is another plane besides Alaska Air. I never saw one.
Okay, that makes sense.
They run. It's like they're the mob.
Okay.
Like no other. Like if you're Delta, you're getting beat up. You can't.
You
come in.
flew into where though?
Sitka.
It wasn't direct from here to Sitka.
I flew to Seattle.
Oh, and then Seattle to Sitka.
Yeah. It was
okay.
It was 2 hours.
Oh,
that's not
bad.
far.
That's not bad.
It's south. It was an easy hop, and it's a big plane. I thought I was going to be on like a propeller plane, like you see in the proposal. Right, exactly. And it wasn't. It was just like a normal. Turns out you could fly a normal plane into Sitka.
Interesting.
I know. So we landed, and the lodge picks you up. They have like vans.
Okay.
And they take you right to their cabin. And the way we had it was we had a big enough party for the whole cabin.
Okay.
But if you don't, you actually have to share the cabin with people you don't know.
Everyone has their own room?
I don't know.
Well, no, you were there.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if you're sharing with people you don't know.
Oh.
I was with my dad's group. Mm-hmm. I didn't know anyone in that group.
Right.
So I had to share a room with someone I didn't know.
How was that?
I didn't know him. It was weird. It's strange. There's 2 beds in a room. It's like this big cabin, right? Like,
right.
There was 3 bedrooms and 2 beds in each room, and there's a kitchen and a couple bathrooms. But like I had to share it with this guy I've never met before, who liked to party, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I
would have thought that you guys would have got along.
I was afraid of getting seasick.
Smart.
So I didn't really drink a lot that first night, but he did. And I had water next to my bed, and I woke up and the water was gone. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and taking a sip, but not like finishing it.
Right.
Turns out he was sharing the glass with me.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So we bonded.
Aww.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Oh my gosh.
I think, yeah.
Did he know that did you tell him?
In the morning, we had a conversation.
Was he embarrassed?
No, he didn't really care.
Okay.
The only one who did was me.
Ew.
I know.
This was also like middle pandemic.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know this guy.
Jeez.
They feed you a lot with Kingfisher. They bring it like at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Your door's not locked. They just come right in.
What about bears coming in?
I don't know if they didn't seem to be worried about it.
Oh.
The bears would have to climb a lot of stairs.
Okay.
They they bring in like huge breakfast, and it's different every day. And there's like an oatmeal. They have some snacks, or they have like greasy food every day too. Mm-hmm. But I was afraid again of getting seasick.
Right.
So I didn't do the grease. I did oatmeal.
Plus, can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
Is there bathrooms on the boat?
No. I was afraid of having to poop on the boat.
Yeah, you don't want to have a greasy breakfast and then...
You know what you do? You hang off the side.
No.
You do. I know.
Did someone do that?
I don't think anyone in our party did. If so, I don't remember it. I might have blacked it out from the trauma.
That
I know.
is horrifying.
I know.
Horrifying.
I don't think I could.
Do you wipe? I'm sorry. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so you got to time you got to time your breakfast, your coffee, your morning routine before getting on that boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I think I didn't do a lot of coffee for that reason.
Smart.
Just water.
You did get the patch. Yeah,
I got this patch for seasickness, and I put it on like the 72 hours before we were there. The first day it didn't work great. It was 6 foot swells nonstop, and you're on this tiny little fishing boat, and it just. I don't think because there's never a rest, right? It's like if someone were to poke you all day and it gets annoying, it's like the same thing. And no one in my party, and I was with like my dad and like his buddies, they're all hunters and stuff. Like they acted tough, but I'm telling you, they weren't feeling good either because everyone was quiet that first day.
Right.
And they would have been talking and drinking if they weren't.
And you actually don't get seasick very often.
No.
It's me that usually gets seasick when we're on a boat. You don't.
And then on the captain, we're all not feeling great the first day. Like the first king salmon we catch, which is the whole point of going there, he guts this thing and we're out there and it's a female. So there's roe. So there's fish eggs.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, you got to eat these. Like this is what, the lore is.
Yes.
So we all were like eating raw fish eggs on the boat.
Sick.
Yeah.
Just
bleh. Oh yeah, like you're already ready to. Actually, there was one guy in the party who was seasick the entire trip.
The entire trip?
He just laid. There's like a little captain's cabin where we could sit with a table. He laid in there the whole trip. Never once fished.
Oh.
He was ill. I'm like, why did you even come on the boat the next day?
I wouldn't have.
Stay home.
Especially if day 1, fine, trying to get your sea legs. Day 2, maybe, but third day, I'm out.
I'm telling you right now. After day 2, if I felt the same way as day 1, I would have stayed home and just got drunk.
Yeah.
I would have just drank all day.
Yes.
They would have come home. I would have still been nauseous, but from a whole different reason. What's cool is they not only feed you breakfast, but they also feed you like dinner when you get back. And on the boat, they make lunches every day for you.
Oh.
So like you really you do have food in your belly if you can keep it down constantly. And then at the end, when they pick you up from the boat, they'll drive you by the liquor store, which is why we're drinking Josh, because my dad and I would go in every day.
And you picked up the Josh.
Yeah, and I thought I was ready to like throw down, but no one really was except for my roommate.
That you didn't know. You didn't want to share water with him every night.
And I was afraid I was going to be sick the next day on the boat. So yeah. So all we did was we picked up like a bottle of wine and ate dinner, and we were in bed. Got off the boat by 5:30. I bet we were all asleep by 7:30.
Really?
Except for my roommate, which was 1:30.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he went. He went for it.
Wow, good for him.
He had a good time. We did go at the end of the season, so fishing was a little bit different.
Okay.
Like it was kind of harder to find some of the spots than it would have been if we would have gone earlier.
Which is shocking because when you came home, you were telling me that it was nonstop.
Yeah.
So how would it be in the middle of the season?
I don't know.
I mean,
I was fine with because it was already chaotic enough. I mean, we had like 4 lines in. And it was constantly catching. You were fighting them, bringing them in, and then people were gutting them and killing them or clubbing them and all of it. Oh, yeah. Turns out, here's a fun fact they don't tell you about going on a fishing boat. And look, if you're a manly man, I'm sorry, but while I'm watching the captain club the fish to death, I'm like, there's blood going everywhere.
I think when you told the story about the halibut that was just a little bit too big that you caught.
Oh my God, we caught this halibut that was a little too big. And you have to have them between a certain size. They just rammed its nose into the side of the boat till it was the right size. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Here's a side note. Everyone had to pick out like boots to wear on the fishing boat, like rubber boots.
Yeah.
The charter gives them to you. And there's all these black ones. I found the one pair of white boots.
Oh my gosh.
Just to embarrass my father in front of all of his dude friends.
Oh my gosh.
My white boots were red with blood every day.
Ew.
I'm traumatized talking about it. My captain, though, he's like exactly, if I'm going to Alaska on a fishing trip, I want the surly captain, right? Like that's who I want.
Yeah.
That's who he was. Like he was this
beard.
Oh yeah, like stubble. Not like a nice trim, like just unkempt. Yeah.
Okay.
Overweight, sloppy.
Smoking.
Like, like he would be lighting one with one in his mouth constantly. There'd be 2 cigarettes in as he was cleaning fish. Like,
does he only own like overalls?
I never saw. I think he wore the same thing every day. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, because he got the overalls on. Well, he does it like 6 months of the year, and then he goes back to Seattle and does whatever.
I bet he makes bank.
Oh
though.
yeah, well, because we were tipping. We all tipped a few hundred at the end.
Oh my gosh.
So he made bank for that, then whatever he gets paid.
Right.
And he only does it 6 months of the year, so it's hard.
Didn't seem like it was hard for him though. You think it's hard for him?
No, he worked a lot.
Well, because he went home and like cleaned the fish.
Yeah, so we would get all the fish. He'd do like a quick like cut it open, put it on ice kind of thing.
Okay.
And at the end, when we left, he would actually clean each fish, and then they would take it back to where they would finish the job. So I mean, he did a lot.
And you guys came back with a ton.
Came back with 90 pounds of fish fillets.
It was insane.
Yeah, we were targeting king salmon and halibut, and I wanted sablefish, but we never made it there. It was further away, and we just never got out to it. That's like rockfish.
Oh, okay.
I just was hoping for like a third.
Yeah, that would have been
something.
cool to have something else.
Yeah, but we caught a bunch, like constantly. The one fish I did catch, I was like, it was fighting me a lot, and like it all of a sudden stopped, and I thought maybe we caught a rock underneath, and all of a sudden a shark jumps out of the water with my fish in its mouth.
Like what kind of shark?
Shark. I only know one shark. I know two sharks: a hammerhead and a great white. Those are the 2 sharks.
Well, there's
I know.
a tiger shark. I don't know.
Would you be able to notice a tiger shark if it jumps out of the water?
Yeah, I watch Shark Week
No.
every year. Was it a megalodon?
It was definitely not a megalodon, but I thought about a megalodon attacking us twice when I was on the boat.
Baby megalodon?
Might have been.
Oh my gosh.
It was it was probably like 7 feet. It wasn't that big of a shark.
A shark is a shark.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I got the fish though. I ended up getting it in.
Really?
And we have a photo of me with the fish, and you can see the shark bite out of that fish.
That would have been so cool.
That was like a cool moment. We caught a shark. They throw them back in.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is it like against the law?
No,
or are they just not good?
Well, because they eat the fish of all the fishermen who are going through.
Uh-huh.
So they killed the shark and then threw it back in.
Oh, they kill it?
Yeah.
Why?
I hope I'm not getting anyone in trouble. Oh my God. I'm going to ruin so many careers. Like this silly little podcast.
Oh my gosh.
They shut down the fishing charter. They do your fishing license though. The king salmon stamp, because you only can catch so many of each fish every day, and they watch that stuff pretty hardcore. And then also they actually freeze it all, and so they gave us these boxes of frozen fish that all I had to do was they checked it in for me.
Yeah, they did everything.
Nothing.
You did nothing.
It is the most lazy man's way of fishing, and I still complained a lot about it.
Well, you had to reel in the fish.
Yes.
That was hard work.
I did that part of it.
Yes.
That was it.
That was pretty much it. You didn't kill it.
No.
You didn't club it.
No,
you didn't.
No, I didn't club it.
You didn't fillet it.
No.
None of that.
No, I reeled it in halfway.
And it was kind of one of our biggest stresses when you going on this trip was getting the fish home, because everyone's like, it's so expensive to get the fish home. You should check a ice chest. Remember people were telling us to check an ice chest, and I was like, ooh, like we don't really have it. Like, are we gonna go buy an ice chest? It was like this whole thing, and then we were like, okay, screw it. We're just gonna you're just gonna figure it out when you're there.
And they figured it out for me.
And they did. And you know what? It didn't cost anything because you just checked it.
Yeah, they flash froze it, put it in boxes. We checked it. And then I brought it home before it was unfrozen.
It was totally frozen still.
It's almost been a year. Had 90 pounds of fish that we've slowly eaten almost all of it. You want me to go back and do it again and club more fish?
I really do. It was
the best
my
fish.
gosh.
It's worth it for the fish.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
The fish it was so, I mean, we love seafood.
Yeah.
We love fish.
Yeah.
So for us, it's been so nice to just like every week we have fish and it's fresh.
You do a blackened salmon that's like so good.
I know. I pinned so many fish recipes. I mean, we have made tacos. We've made we
Lox.
had poor man's lobster.
Poor man's lobster with the halibut.
That was really good. The blackened salmon. Yeah, and I've learned how to make lox, and let me tell you, now that I've learned how to make lox,
we don't go to Einstein Bagels anymore.
I don't buy them as
No,
often
we make
because
them.
it's so easy.
Well, we did. We're down to like the last 2 fillets.
I know.
So
I'm actually kind of sad about it.
Or if anyone's going and they want to send us some.
Totally.
If I haven't shut down Kingfisher with my halibut or shark story,
oh my gosh,
please send us some fish. So there's Sitka, Alaska for you. We do appreciate you listening. In fact, did you see how many reviews we got this week?
I know, and thank you guys. They were all good reviews, just like we asked for.
Yeah, they were 5 out of 5. In fact, we had a listener. I do a radio show here in town, who gave us such a nice review saying they were excited to hear you and how funny you were.
Aww.
And someone else saying our show feels like it's just like friends sitting down and drinking wine.
And that's what we want.
Yeah, that's the idea of it. And I wish I could read them verbatim, but the kids took our phones before we started recording. We need to do something with the kids to keep them occupied.
Right.
And so our son's playing Fortnite downstairs, and he's texting friends on our phone, and then our daughter has one. And
yeah,
it's, but hey. Thank you for the reviews.
Thank you so much.
Still, you can give a review, 5 out of 5. Tell us if you like the show. And follow us on Instagram. And that would be Our Savings Starts Tomorrow.